You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Stupid. What's up, Ronnie Bo?
You would think stupid would be spelled S-T-O-O-P. Like a stoop.
Stupid.
Right? Like a stoop is like a staircase. What? Right? Isn't that spelled S-T-O-O-P? S-T-O-O-P.
Yes. So today I go to lunch with Mom and good friends of ours from college. And I go to the club and it has these double front doors.
Okay.
And you would expect, and all these country clubs, they have these electronic doors, the main doors of the fucking club, and they're double doors, so they open up. So when you approach it, they fucking open up. So you expect the double doors, like, right, they would open up and the whole thing would be open. This one is a middle fucking bar in the middle of the doors.
I mean, I guess it has to, right?
No, it doesn't. Polo Club doesn't have it. St. Andrews doesn't have it. But fucking Woodfield, the stupid fucking club, has this bar in the middle. I'm talking, it's not funny, and I'm talking, and I turn around.
It is funny.
And I fucking walk right into the fucking, my fucking nose starts bleeding, the top of my bridge of my nose.
I honestly wish I saw that. Did anyone laugh?
No, I think I'm going to sue Woodfield.
Are you being serious?
For my to fuck with this face? Look at my fucking nose.
You make money from that face.
No, look at my fucking nose.
Actually, from your voice.
Look at my nose.
It's swole. You got a little Owen Wilson-y nose right now. It's a little
don't
crooked.
tell me that.
I mean, it's not going to be permanent. It's just your
I
nose
was
is swollen.
fucking pissed. The manager came in. I said, "You fucking."
I wouldn't have known unless you told me. But now I see it. It's your
I
nose
got a
is
little bit
swollen.
of a headache, but I put ice in it. But I'm aggravated. The design.
That's like a movie,
Okay, we have double doors here. Look, is there anything in the middle?
right? But those doors are not as big as the Woodfield.
But do you
doors.
understand the point of fucking double doors?
Or
Otherwise, just be a
look
door.
where you were going.
No,
Like,
I was, and I just happened to. And here's the best part.
Wait, so you turned around, and then
I was
right when you
walking-
turned back, you hit because you hit on your
Yes,
nose.
correct. Listen,
So that was just really
Time.
poor, stupid on your part.
But let me tell you something. Here's the part where Woodfield's fucked. Okay. The valet guy comes over to me and goes, happens all the time. Poor design flaw. They know about it.
So why not remove it?
Why not fucking fix it?
It's just doors, right? Doors can close on themselves.
And could stay. Correct.
Yeah. And the
All
doors are
time.
opening so often that it's not like they need to be like weather sealed. Those doors, they're opening all the time.
There's nothing. It is unbelievable. So I got to see what I can get out of him on that. What do you think I should get?
$10 million.
No, I'm not talking about. I should get something.
What, like
For my
free
pants
meals
somewhere?
or something?
No, I don't like the fucking food there.
Right, like you don't want to go to Woodfield anyways. So why do you
I'm
want
aggravated.
something? What do you want?
aggravated.
Money, or you want them to be like, "We're sorry."
Don't you touch me. But I just thought shit. So if everybody, so I had ice on it for the past 30 minutes, and I got to go to a wedding tonight with my fucking.
Oh yeah, you do have a wedding tonight.
Yeah. Do you see?
That'll be fun.
The little blood. Was there a little blood mark?
It looks like you know when you wear sunglasses. Sometimes that's what it looks like. It looks
Maybe that's from the red from the ice.
no. The cut doesn't look like a cut. It looks more like an indentation from when you wear sunglasses and those little things are on your nose.
Ugh,
You know that?
So aggravated. Fuck
right.
with a face like this.
You're aggravated because you made a stupid mistake.
You
were stupid.
Honestly, I don't think it was stupid because I didn't even think the thing would be there.
Right, but you weren't looking where you were going, and that's stupid. Like you always got to
I'm
look where
allowed
you're
to
going.
not look and walk through double
It's
doors.
okay. Like everyone
I
makes
know
mistakes.
I know it's okay.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
So here we are. It's Saturday, right? It's a regular pod.
Yes.
Okay, and Ronnie drove from Miami for this. What's so funny?
I drove up from Miami to Boca just for this. I'm going home right after.
What do you what'd you do last night?
It was a good night actually.
And I'll tell you about our night afterwards.
Okay, so we
Being
were
that you asked.
we were just hanging out, Bryce and I and two friends.
Was Bryce
guys.
with Megan?
No, well, you're jumping ahead of the story.
That's what I do.
So Bryce and I and two of our guy friends were hanging out in my apartment.
Guys?
No,
Where was Jaybird?
he had a wedding or no, a birthday
Okay.
in Delray.
All right.
So we were just hanging out, chilling, like watching
Maxing
TV.
and relaxing. All of a sudden, oh, that's DJ Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
But yeah. DJ Jazzy Jeff, I think is.
Yes, DJ who never went anywhere.
No.
so
Except we're talking about him.
Not so jazzy now, is he?
And not so Jeff.
Jazzy hands.
We were just hanging out,
But
watching TV.
But Will Smith fucking killed it.
Well, Will Smith is one of the biggest actors of all time.
But singer, actor, dancer, and producer. Okay.
And now inspirational speaker. That's his new thing.
And now it's traveling on this National Geographic shit. He has a show.
That's his new thing is
Right.
like inspirational world things.
Right. So he has killed it.
Oh
No,
yeah,
killed it. All
but he
from the-
deserves it. He's
No,
talented.
I
He's
like
likable.
him.
Like
No,
no
I
one
like
doesn't
him.
like him.
No, I like him. He's
Yeah.
a good actor. But you have to admit, he has. Who would ever thought from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Right. He's turned a sitcom into one of the biggest. He's a top 5 biggest
Carlton's
actors in the
gone
world.
Nowhere. Carlton's gone nowhere.
He was on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay,
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Will Smith is as large as Leonardo DiCaprio.
Will Smith is a top 5 actor in the world
Had Tom
for
Hanks,
2 decades.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
These are the top guys. Would you
Yes.
not agree? Who's that?
Will Smith is definitely up there, and he's a black guy,
Yeah,
which
but-
is like not as
So you got Will
easy
Smith,
to get there.
Will Smith,
an actor.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks.
Are we
is
talking
huge.
about big or are we talking about star power? Because like The Rock is the biggest. The
The
Rock's
Rock
number
is
1.
Huge.
The Rock's number 1. He's the biggest movie star
Unbelievable, isn't it?
of the year and
It's
last year. And
unbelievable.
he's gonna run for president, guaranteed. He is. I'm confident in that.
Wow.
Not 2024, 2028. He's gonna run for president,
Wow.
and he'll probably win.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he win? Right? Like he would win it. And honestly, would he be worse than what we've had the last 10 years?
No, I think he'd be good.
Yeah, I think he'd be good.
As long as he doesn't make it a racial thing, just so it's best for America.
I don't think he would because he's never made anything a racial thing. Because he's always about appealing to everyone. Like that's
And I like him.
his thing. Everyone likes The Rock. But if he started making it racial, then he would lose half of his people.
I wonder how he'd be in dealing with other countries.
Who even the fuck knows what the world will look like in 10 years?
All right, let's go back to
Okay, so last night we were hanging
Sorry
out.
for we always divert.
Tangents. Last night we were hanging out. We were just having a chill night. We were like maybe going to go to a bar or whatever. And then it was like 11:30 or midnight. And the girl who Bryce is like seeing, Megan, and one of our friends, Nina, texted us. They were like, what are you guys doing? Can we come over and hang out? We were like, sure.
That's nice.
So then 30 minutes later, they showed up with like 12 people. There were
I
like
love it.
5 girls and 3 guys. So
I love
maybe
it.
not 12, 8 people showed up.
How great is that?
And we were like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then they just all showed up to our apartment. And then so the night turned from like a little chill nothing to like a big night.
How nice is
We
that?
ended up going
Isn't
to
that
this.
fun?
It was great. We had a great time. We went to this one bar and just like an outdoor bar chilling. And then we went to Bodega and got a table. But the guys who showed up like know someone at Bodega. So they were like, hey, let's go to Bodega now. We can get a table comped. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Why would we not? So then we Ubered over to South Beach. I went to Bodega, which is like a club. And we had a table, but it was free. So it was great. So we ended up having a great night. It was a lot of fun.
Good. What time did you get home?
3, which was good. I purposefully, because after Bodega, so the old Bronson, old meaning a week ago, would have acted differently, but the new Bronson acted well. As we were getting ready to leave Bodega, it was like 3 o'clock. And half the group was like, let's go to 11. Come on, let's go to 11. Let's keep it going.
God.
And 11's like the big club. A week ago, Bronson would have been like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go to 11. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's just go. But I was like, no, I told myself I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to try to get to bed earlier. I still had a great night. What more can I do tonight?
I agree.
So I was like, you guys have fun. I'm going home. And then Bryce was like, yeah, I'll go with you, Bronson. And then Megan was like, yeah, I'll go with you, Bronson. And then Megan's friend was like, yeah, I'll go with you. And so we all ended up going home and I went to bed at 3:30 and I woke up at 11 and I felt great.
I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So growth, you know? I know. Thank you guys. Thank you. I know.
So last night was, I think, the first time we were empty nesters for a while.
For real.
For a while. Okay. So it's sort of nice. So we went to Beer Garden. They had this band called Regs from the Keys, which is like very old classic rock. And they're really...
I've seen them there before.
Okay. They're really fucking good.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, they're really good.
And that's a fun spot to see a band.
So about, I would say 5 or 6 couples went. And then we would dance and like really good stuff. And then at like 11:45, I'm like, I'm done. I go, I'm leaving. Anybody want to come back to the house? So everybody came back to the house at 11:45.
Oh, I know, because you were calling me.
I called you. I know. Listen, a moment. And
I can't figure out that's calling me.
first of all,
I have 15 people over my apartment.
Like you. I don't sound like you.
I have 15 people over my
I
apartment,
was
and I'm
nice
having to
about
walk.
it. So
No, I know,
I was
but
nice. It
I
was
was like,
30
just
seconds.
unplug it and replug it in. You're like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, dick. 30 seconds of your time. And people didn't leave till 2:45. I went to bed after 3 o'clock. But unlike you, I couldn't sleep till 11. I only slept till 9.
Well, I woke up at 8:45, which is when I always wake up. My body woke me up.
Right.
And then I sat up for like 5 minutes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going back to bed. And then I woke up at 11.
Right. I woke up at like 6 something like I normally get up. And then I went back to bed. And then I trained.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, you didn't trim your nose hair yet, did you?
I did.
Your left one's hanging.
Then I missed one.
Yeah, it's like for the Looks like you can climb it.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
You got to clean. That's going to annoy me. You got to pluck it now. It's going to annoy the fuck out of me.
It's for.
Do you feel it?
It's for the women to climb onto.
No.
It's something for them to hold on to while I'm like making out with them. You know, I keep it there on purpose.
Oh, that's nasty.
Speaking of climbing, should we talk about that documentary that we watched briefly? The Alpinist.
Alpinist?
Yeah, I guess just great. Even to recommend to people.
Don't talk about the end.
Well, even you say you can't do that. I tell you all the time. Dad goes, you got to watch this movie. The ending is crazy. You'll never guess the ending. And I'm like, great. Now I'm expecting a fucking twist ending or whatever. So now it ruined the whole movie. So you can't say anything about. Okay. Are we on Seinfeld? What's the deal with ruining movies? You always ruin the movie. That's a terrible Seinfeld.
Yeah, and the whole body movement is a little scary.
I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld, so my impression should be spot on. But
okay, Alpinist.
Phenomenal documentary. Highly recommend anyone listening to watch it. It's just dropped on Netflix. Just crazy that like it's about a free solo climber so he would the camera just moved because that's Banks. Okay, now he's gone. It's about a climber who climbs these amazing cliff sides and mountains and everything.
Freestyle.
But fully he doesn't have any safety ropes. He doesn't have any ropes. He doesn't have anything on his hands.
He doesn't plan for it. He just walks up to it and does it.
And he's like the best in the world. It's insane.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it for glory or anything. Like people discovered him. He was just he was breaking all these records, but not telling anyone because he just did it for himself.
25-year-old kid.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing.
When I was watching it, I was just like, it's amazing the different, like what a different life that person lives.
Oh,
and the way that they think is so different than the way that we think.
Even his girlfriend, the love.
Yeah.
You got to admit, you got to respect that love, don't you?
But so remember last episode of the podcast, we were talking about society and it's getting too complicated and that's why people aren't happy. And that documentary perfectly showcased that. Remember, I was saying, I don't know, I think a simpler life is more fulfilling. Like just living in Montana and just having the people that you love around you and not having all the shit.
There is something to be said about that episode.
In that documentary, he was the happiest guy, genuinely. All he wanted to do was just spend time with his girlfriend and climb and be in the wilderness. And he didn't even have a phone. He didn't have any possessions. He had no money.
Such a passion for it.
Yeah.
You got to respect that.
It was inspiring to see like someone has such a fulfillment from
the passion
from nature, just from being out there. He got such enjoyment that it was like his life was worthwhile just because he's outside.
No, I respect, because we talked about it in another podcast, like what passions do you have? And I was talking to a buddy of mine last night. We got in a deep conversation. Like if you weren't working, what would you do that would have a passion about doing it? I don't know the answer to that. Like I like where I'm at in my life, so I have no desire to stop working. I like work. I like being with you kids, and maybe the next phase will be grandchildren. And I find, that, but I don't have anything individual that would. Oh, it just gives me such passion.
Right, and we talked about that, and I asked, even like when you were younger, did you? And you're like, not really. So that might just be who you are.
No, but I
could think of 15 different things. Look at Banks
that's cute.
Banks is resting his head on the table. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, just staring at us. He wants us to pet him. Yeah. He's about to bark.
And he's going to come over now.
Yeah. I have like 15 things that if someone was like, for the next 2 years of your life, you can dedicate it to just this, I could think of so many things. I mean, I would love to travel around the world and not travel like in nice ways. Like I would love to go
backpack it and just
like what I did when I was in Guatemala, like living in a fucking village. I was in the middle of the rainforest in a village that didn't have any cell service or running water, even like, and that was the best trip I've ever taken because it was the real deal. I got to really see it. So I would love to do that, go to all that. I don't know. I would love to have just a bunch of free time to read all the books that I would ever want to read.
Okay.
I would love, if I had like the full time to dedicate to something, I would love to like learn more musical instruments, but that takes such a long time.
Oh, I have one that I've always found interesting. Sorry to cut you off. I've always wanted to go to the Shaolin monks and
you have always done that.
Always wanted. That's something
you have always said that.
Like 4 weeks off, train with them.
You'd need to do you'd want to dedicate like a year to that to get it really worthwhile.
Who has the time for that?
No, but
I don't want to be away from.
But
now.
that's what this hypothetical is. Is it?
I always wanted to do that. I really find that would be so interesting, so humbling, and just.
But also, I respect them tremendously, and I think that that's a cool part of humankind, like that we have people like that. But that's also stupid. Like that's not in my opinion, like you have one life on this earth, right? And devoting your entire life. They start when they're like 11.
Okay, but I'm talking I like to think from the martial arts aspect. I don't know. I just find that very intriguing.
Right, it's super cool. But what I'm saying is like for one of those monks, right? You start at like 8 or 11, and you dedicate your entire life to just learning one craft, right? Like just one martial art, and that's it. You never have a family, you never do anything, and you die as an old man, and you've lived on a monastery, and your whole life was just mastering one craft. Like that's romantic in theory, right? We think about that as like, wow, that's so admirable. But in reality, that's really stupid. That's a waste of a life.
All right, but I'm just saying,
in my opinion.
All right, I get it, but
I think it's cool as well, but I also think it's a waste.
Right.
But I even think it's a waste of a life, like for any kind of when someone just is so passionate about something that nothing else matters in their life except that one thing. I think that's stupid. I think there's something wrong with you. I don't know.
Banks, come.
He's doing something.
Banks. Sorry, everybody. Okay, come here.
But yeah, The Alpinist was a great documentary. I would highly recommend.
But I want to hear some of your other passions. Go ahead.
Like if I could devote time, I don't know what else would I do. I mean, I like what we're doing now. Like I think this. Like we don't do this because it's a job. Like we do this because we want to do it.
We're doing it. We enjoy it, and I think it's been great for you and I.
Like that, it's fun. Like that's something I don't view it as a job. I view it as like a fun activity, and like building something.
Yeah.
What else would I want to do? Oh, something I would so want to do. If I had like 2 years to dedicate to something, I would definitely do like carpentry, woodworking. Like if I could, if someone gave me like a full wood shop studio.
Would you know how to make the stuff?
Yeah, but I would love to learn even more. I mean, I've made, like, you've seen some of the stuff I've made, and I love doing that. Like, I love...
So one day when you get married, you have a house.
I'll have a garage.
You'll have a wood shop.
Right. I love that. But I've only, like, in the furniture that I've built, I've done it out of necessity, and I just learn as I go. So I'm like, I need a shelving unit that only fits on this wall, and so I just figured out, I'm like, okay, if I want to do it that way, how would I figure out to do that? So I'd love to like be an apprentice to someone, you know, like a master carpenter who builds these amazing things out of wood. If I could be with them for a year and just study under them, that is something I would want to do. In reality, I would never do that because I'd rather spend my time elsewhere. But we're talking about this hypothetical where you have nothing else to do but dedicate to a passion. That's definitely a passion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Traveling's a big thing for me too. I like traveling. All right, so go ahead. The Alpinist.
We can wrap that up.
It's a great documentary.
We watched it this weekend. Actually, a podcast listener and friend of mine recommended it to me a while back, and I just never did watch it. And then I saw it dropped on Netflix. I was like, we got to watch this. And you walked in when I was almost over, and you're like,
20 minutes left.
You were like, this is so good. You couldn't stop watching it. And then I was like, let's just fucking restart.
You know, I've always liked that stuff.
Yes.
And I also, one thing I've always wanted to do, which I never have, is I like to try ice climbing at a smaller level.
Right.
But I've always talked about it, haven't I? I always want to do that.
That would be fun.
You know, I don't know if I can physically do it, but I'd like to try it.
Yeah, I would try that with you. Like in a more controlled setting.
And the thing I want to do is I want to do that camper thing. I've been talking about that for ages.
Yeah, renting an RV or some kind of van and traveling around the country.
Just that would be fun.
Yeah. All right, should we get into some actual substance?
Sure. We also
Although that was all substance.
We didn't do a fatherly advice last time.
Well, we'll do one at the end of this.
Okay. And then we're doing our meet and greet next week.
We are doing a meetup. Meet and greet, I hate that. It makes me cringe.
Okay.
I call it a meetup. Because a meet and greet, it's like, who are we like to have a meet and greet?
Okay.
So we're just doing like a meetup where we're going to meet up.
Same thing.
Yeah. So we're doing that in Miami at the Wharf.
Saturday.
Yep. Saturday.
Evening.
Yes. Actually, night. I think it's like 9 p.m. that we said.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So if you're in the South Florida area.
You guys can come. We'd love to
down.
see you guys.
Yeah. And if you own any merch, definitely wear that when you come. That'd be sick.
That would be fine. Good point. Good point.
And if you don't own merch yet, what the fuck are you doing? You know?
Yeah, get these boxes
Because
out of my office.
there's like 12 sweatshirts left.
You're killing it on sweatshirts?
Yeah, there's a box is almost empty. So
Good.
And I think the Jon and Bron shirts, there's like 7 left. Like those are almost sold out.
Yeah, those did well.
Okay, what should we do? You want to do like a political thing or like a funny thing? I have both.
Thing.
Well, we can do multiple. Did you see this? Let's talk about this first.
The answer is no.
You definitely didn't see it. So there's this Chinese rover that's been on the moon. This is just quick. I just want to bring it up to you. There's this Chinese rover that's been on the moon for a couple years, and China is like just doing studies on the moon, and their space program they're doing way more shit than we are doing for sure. But the rover captured this picture this week on the moon. It's from far away, and there's a structure. No one knows what it is yet. So there's the moon. It's all a flat horizon. This picture is of the moon surface. It's all flat. And then there's a square that juts up, and there's a shadow inside of it. And then it goes down, and then the horizon keeps on going. And no one knows what it is. So they released this picture, and they also said, we have rerouted the rover to go to it. And it's going to take like a month.
Is that far?
Yeah, and it has to go a certain way. They have to track, because the moon is all like crevices, so it can't just make a beeline. Because if it falls in one of the craters, it's fucked. So they have to track a whole thing.
Is someone?
I think there's a map of.
Let me ask you: is someone controlling the what do you call it?
Rovers,
or are they go on their own? Like is
both.
someone with a joystick?
It's both. So like the Mars rover is both. Sometimes it can be autonomous. And sometimes, I don't know about this Chinese rover, but I know for our like curiosity on Mars, is autonomous, but it also can be controlled.
You got to keep me posted about that.
So isn't that just weird? So this says an intriguing cube-shaped object spotted on the far side of the moon has attracted the attention of scientists. China's U-22 rover, that's a horrible name, U-22, captured images of the mystery structure from 260 feet away when navigating across the von Karman crater in the South Pole Aitken Basin on the moon. Chinese scientists have already rerouted the rover to take a closer look, but it will take a few months to reach the bizarre lunar future.
Isn't that crazy? 260 feet will take a few months.
Yeah. Because you don't want to fuck it up. You only have one chance.
Flies.
Well, we have a flying drone on Mars. We have a helicopter. It's like this big. It's like the size of a small dog. It's a helicopter that can fly up on Mars.
So why aren't they doing that on the moon?
There's no point to fly on the moon. There's no point. Like on Mars, we want to fly because it collects air samples to see what the atmosphere is.
Move quicker,
there's no atmosphere.
To move quicker around it.
I don't even know if you would move quicker because to propel yourself up, there's no the gravity on the moon. There's no atmosphere.
So how do these rovers stay on the ground?
No, there's gravity. There's no atmosphere. So I guess to push up, I don't know the science. I'm sure if it was a better choice to fly, they would be doing that. But clearly, it's not.
Was it a home built by aliens after the crash landing, or is it? Okay.
So it says this: they spotted the mystery hut. Scientists have changed the vehicle. The solar-powered rover will spend 2 to 3 lunar days, equivalent to 2 to 3 months time on Earth. So it's only taking 2 days on the moon for it to get there, but it's taking.
How
2
does
months.
that work on the moon? Why do they call it 2 days? Because the moon.
Well, no, it's the same amount of time. It's just the moon is so much. Would it be faster or slower? The moon is slower the orbit around the sun. No, I don't know. The moon's orbit is faster around the Earth than the Earth's orbit because it happens every day. We see I don't know. I can't think about that stuff right now. It says the hut may simply be a large boulder that's been pushed up by meteor impact and taken on a geometric look. The blog post noted that there was an impact crater besides the mystery hut, further suggesting that the cube could be an excavated lunar rock. Or is it the Pioneer spacecraft of the predecessors to explore the moon? I don't know. I just saw, that is that's a weird thing. It looks like a square.
It's very square, yeah.
It doesn't look organic.
Right, like the line, the actual flush line edges.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm curious to know. Keep me posted 2 months from now.
I will.
Catch up then.
All right. New Year's is around the corner. Big night usually. I'm sure big night for most people.
Brand new year. Brand new year coming on.
That's what happens the new year, yes.
Right. And you know how everybody talks about losing weight for New Year's?
Yes.
And they want to take care of themselves and look better?
A New Year's resolution.
Well, what better than have your fucking body clean with no hair in the important parts?
Or not even no hair, just trimmed hair. Because I still have a lot of hair.
Yeah, but
I keep it trimmed.
Yeah, but okay.
and I keep it trimmed with Manscaped.
That's so gay. But
Why?
Oh God, I'm telling you.
Can't say that.
I can't say that?
No, you can. I mean,
Well, I just said it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm telling you, we talked about it. Hopefully, those have already gotten it for their fucking stocking stuffers and everything like that. But great thing for the new year. Great way to keep clean, keep fresh. You use it all the time. I use it. I use it less than you because your hair grows so much more.
Yes, I have much more of a need for it. And I was even saying like New Year's Eve night is a big night, and you got to be prepared for that downstairs. Even just like the thing with Manscaped that I always say.
Even your chest. I think it's great for your fucking chest.
But I even say like not even for anyone else. Like I clean down there for myself. It feels better when I use my lawnmower 4.0, great trimmer, and I trim the area down there. Not even just around my balls, but like in my taint area, you know?
Oh God.
When you're out and about.
Let me see your nose. You gotta go.
I need to use my weed whacker.
You gotta trim that right now.
But if trimming is a very necessary part of it should be a necessary part of every person's repertoire.
Even women.
That's
Seriously,
why I said
you want them fucking. You want one
even
woman
non-binaries.
Listen, no, you don't want a woman with a winter bush. I'm telling you right now, where like she takes off her pants, like, whoa, take the sweater off.
Some people like that.
No, 1950s is over. Not happening.
Some people like that. I don't know.
No one likes that unless you are like
hippie or something.
Hippie, hacky sack shit. No, not happening.
So head over to manscaped.com. Get rid of your hippie hacky sack, whatever the fuck you said.
Your winter bush.
Yeah, and go check out their great products. Performance Package 4.0 will hook you up with all of it. Includes a Lawnmower 4.0, which, as you guys know, is a great trimmer. Comes with an LED light, wireless charging, Manscaped
waterproof
skin-safe technology.
You could do it in the shower, not in the shower.
Yeah, and it's great. So head over there. In the Performance Package 4.0, they'll also throw in some of their great lotions, a couple free gifts for you. So manscaped.com, use our code DaddyIssues20. You'll get 20% off, free shipping, well worth it. Once again, that's manscaped.com. Head over, use the code DaddyIssues20. You'll get 20% off, free shipping. You'll help yourself out, and you'll help the show. Let's see. I guess we can just touch on this briefly because I saw it like this week. So over the past week, I've been reading. I just was like, you know what? I know nothing about stocks and trading. I know nothing about that. And I was like, I should know about that. That's something I should know about. Because that's just like an important part of life. And then if I can use that knowledge to then make extra money, why not?
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to dedicate like the next month to educating myself on all this stuff, the market, trading, and what makes a good investment, bad, day trading, all that stuff, what all those fucking graphs and numbers mean. I know none of it. And I was like, I should know that.
Okay.
So over the past week, I've been reading this book. I don't even remember what it's called because now I'm using Dad's computer because I left my computer in Miami. So I had it up. I'm reading this book by J.L. something. It's called like The Path. I don't know. It was on the subreddits for like investing. Everyone was like, this is the first book you got to read. This is the one. So I've been reading it and it's like very straightforward and it's very good. And I was reading a passage and then the next day in the news, after I was reading this passage, I saw this news article from the New York Times and it just struck me. And I was like, oh, wow. I kind of am seeing this writing on the wall and it's serendipity. The book was written 12 years ago. And then this article was published yesterday. So I'll read the passage in the book that I highlighted. All right. So it was talking about how like markets crash and all that stuff and how they crash. So I'll just read this quickly. It says, in 1929 was the big ugly event, the mother of all stock market crashes in the beginning of the Great Depression. Over a 2-year period, stocks plunged from 391 to 41, losing 90% of their value along the way. Should you have been unlucky enough to have invested in the peak, your portfolio wouldn't have fully recovered until 1950s, 26 years. So it says, here's a few things it says. Lesson number 1 it says fortunes were lost overnight. How do we stop this? Lesson number 1, never buy stocks on margin. Lesson number 2, this is the big one. If a time comes when you are reading and hearing about people routinely making fortunes in an aggressively rising market, something very, very bad is around the corner. Joseph Kennedy is said to have known it was time to exit the market in 1929 when he started getting stock tips from shoeshine boys. Then it says lesson number 3, if you see lesson number 2 forming, it is a good time to take your chips off the table. Very tough to do when everybody is making easy money. Lesson number 4, once the crash comes, it's too late. So when I heard lesson number 2, I was like, that is definitely what we're experiencing now. Like everyone is now making money in crypto and all these random stocks. You hear like 18-year-olds are making millions of dollars on the stock market overnight. Literally, I know people who overnight have made $50,000 because they bought a Shiba Inu coin, like a crypto. Like, that's ridiculous. So then he went on. This is from another section. He says, what is not so encouraging is that a deflationary depression like that of 1929 is only one of two possible economic disasters that can destroy wealth on a major scale. The other is hyperinflation. Here in the US, we haven't had to deal with this monster since the Revolutionary War, but it destroyed Zimbabwe's economy in 2008. Hungary had the worst case of it in history. So it goes on. Hyperinflation is very bad news. Every bit as destructive as deflation, and it is exactly what it sounds like, inflation running out of control. Then it says, when inflation is high and growing, anything you want to buy will cost more tomorrow than it did today. Buy that house or car or appliance or anything else today and beat the price increase. Delay is punished with higher prices later, and action is rewarded. Buyers become ever more motivated. Sellers become ever more reluctant. Too much of this and the market slips into a deadly spiral. Then he says, governments love a little inflation. They can add money to the system, blah, blah, blah. Given all this, it's not hard to see increasing inflation on our horizon. In fact, it is far more likely than a deflationary depression. That was written 12 years ago, okay? Yesterday in the New York Times, I saw this article. Well, why is it not letting me go? Fucking New York Times. This is an article. Food prices and rent surged in November, helping fuel inflation. A jump in inflation in November was partly fueled by rising prices for food and rent, which have increasingly posed a challenge for consumers. A Labor Department report released on Friday showed that inflation jumped to the highest level in 40 years, climbing 6.8% in the year through November. The big number included a strong increase in food prices, which rose 6% from a year earlier. It rose 6% in 1 year. It says this 0.7 increase in November came on the heels of several months of strong gains. The food index climbed 0.9% in October and November. Rent prices rose last month, reflecting a tight housing market that is feeding into inflation. The surge in rent costs has stemmed from strong demand for owned homes and as people have searched for extra space but found that houses were in short supply. That's exactly what he was saying in this book, which was written way before any of this shit was happening.
Yeah, but it probably makes sense across the board. Doesn't, right? The facts of the market, what they're saying years ago, makes a lot of sense.
Right. And so what I'm saying is if you look at all this shit, everyone's making an insane amount of money in the stock market. Everyone is, right? Like you've been like, this is crazy. I've never made this much amount of money. And not just even you who has like a professional person who's helping you make the money. Anyone can just think about all the GameStop shit. Remember that? Every random person.
Call. Do you pull all your money out, pay the capital gains, and put it in CDs?
I'm not saying to do anything. I'm just saying I was just seeing these trends, and I just wanted to bring it up on the podcast because it's like everyone is making money. People were making hundreds of millions, literally, from that GameStop shit. Where we have the highest inflation in 40 years. Rent prices are insane. No one can find a house because houses are going for double than they were 6 months ago.
Yeah, I don't.
So I don't know.
It's a very valid point. I just don't know what the answer is.
I was reading that and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then I saw this article. I was like, whoa.
Because it would be devastating if the market crashed.
And it seems like we're on it's trend for it. Like it seems like we're on trend for it. So so then part of me was like, ooh, maybe this is good because now I might be like perfect timing because I'm reading this. I'm trying to educate myself now on all this. And if the market crashes in like 3 months, let's say, and then I'll have all this knowledge and I can come in when it's really low, buy up what I need to buy. So I buy when it's low and then I can ride it up over the next 10 years. But a big thing, the main through line of the book so far is the market always goes up. No matter when it goes down, it's always
long term. It's
always
long term. It's a great investment.
Yeah, and he was even saying like the best investment you can do is in like the index funds. Like if you just invest in the market rather than individual companies, right, you will always win. It'll take longer. It's not as fun and sexy, and it's not bigger dividend. Like it'll take you 30 years to make your money, but you will never lose. You will always. I mean, that's what Warren Buffett did.
Yeah, I don't know, Bron.
So I just saw that and I was like,
it's
gotta.
It's a very valid point, and I wrestle with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the right answer is.
And everyone across the country has felt that, right? Like everyone's like,
We're all
everything's so
afraid to pull
expensive.
out.
But
Yeah.
I'm not like the inflation. Everyone's like, things are expensive now. Everything you go to Costco,
steak,
and a pack of steaks that used to be $25 is like $48 now. It's crazy.
No, it's crazy.
And now everyone, like, especially with shipping, a car, like if you were, right, let's say you own like a manufacturing company or whatever, or you like sell shoes, and to ship your shoes, you like rent a cargo container on a cargo ship.
Yeah.
They used to be, this is true, 3 years ago to rent a container was $6,000. Give or take, whatever. 25,000 for a container now.
Crazy.
So it's like everything is going to go up to meet that.
Yeah, it's very valid what you're saying. I just don't know what the right answer is. Well, I know what the right answer is. Just afraid to pull the money out.
Right. That's what, when I read that, I was like, I don't know. Maybe we just take everything out and just wait till things crash and then. But if you let's say your stocks all like the market crashed tomorrow, you wouldn't be devastated. It wouldn't decimate you.
I'd be very upset.
It would
That's
be
how much I lost.
No, but what I'm saying is like tomorrow, if you lost what you had in the market, would it obliterate you?
You mean all the money that's in the market?
Yeah. Like, would you not, like, we would be living a very different life? Because you have money in other things, not just the market. But it would devastate.
It would be brutal.
Yeah. But like the thing in 1929 and during the Great Depression, it wasn't just brutal. Like people lost everything. And in 2008, people lost everything. Not just like a couple $100,000 that they had in the market. Like they were going from millionaires to broke, not even being able to, like that's, you wouldn't do that.
No.
You wouldn't fall that.
Because I own everything free and clear and I make a good income, living, but it would be devastating.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm enjoying.
You got me nervous now.
I'm enjoying learning about this, and I never knew anything about stock shit. Honestly, the main reason why I never learned about it before was because finance people annoy the fuck out of me, and that whole world annoys me so much that it turns me off from it. Like I have that weird issue where, and I know it's an issue of mine. Like when something's popular, it makes me not want to do it. Right? Like we talked about that.
Yeah.
Or even like when people are like, oh, you got to watch this TV show.
Oh, you won't watch it.
It makes me not want to watch it.
Are you in a bad mood? Now I am.
So like when people are like, everyone's talking about crypto, it makes me be like, nope, I'm not even going to talk. I'm not doing it. But now I'm maturing, I'm growing. And I'm like, you know what? That's a stupid way to act. That's an immature thing to do. And so I'm doing it independently. I'm like, just
You're learning.
Reading on my own, learning. Maybe we'll in a couple months after I feel like I'm knowledgeable, maybe start doing a little bit of like investing into different things with just extra money I have. But yeah,
you bring up a good thought. I mean, I have clients that are keep building and more real estate, and I have some clients say they think it's going to bust. So no one knows.
Yeah, I've been saying for years that things are so good. How can it keep going up? How can everything keep getting more expensive?
Well, why would it go bad? Let's just think out loud for a second. Like things are continuing good. Why would it go bad?
Inflation. If there's so much inflation that your money is worthless, then it can all crumble because then it's like a house of cards. It's all fake. It's built on nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand it. I gotta be honest with you, but I don't know. I'm gonna call my financial guy this weekend and ask him. He's gonna tell me not to take it out.
No. I don't know. I just saw those two things and I was like, wow, what a serendipitous moment that as I'm reading about hyperinflation and about it's a problem when everyone's making money. And then I read this article about everyone's making money, but there's also crazy inflation, the biggest in 40 years, the highest. I mean, I was like, whoa, I was taken aback. So I just wanted to share with all you podcast listeners that little bit of knowledge that I've learned this week. So if you have a little bit of money in the market, I don't know, I would maybe think about taking it out.
If you have a little bit, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I guess
a little bit's not going to change. Be a life.
But then also, if you're thinking about investing, wait till it crashes, because when it crashes, then you buy when it's real low, and then we just ride it all up.
First,
and we'll do it together.
You don't really have any experience. You just read one book and article.
But that's the biggest thing is buy low.
Correct. It could crash in 2 years from now.
Buy low, sell high. That's the biggest.
It could crash in 2 years.
Oh yeah, but I can wait 2 years.
I don't know.
And I know nothing. I agree. That's why I'm not drawing any conclusions.
I don't know.
I just saw a thing, a trend, I should say. I saw
Well, you made me think a little bit. but I don't know what to do. I know what he's going to tell me.
Yeah, of course. We talked about it before on the show, and I've stressed my own worry about low testosterone. It's a thing that's happening in the culture with plastics and all the chemicals in our food. And I've said, like, I'm worried about my own testosterone levels just because I don't know.
Yeah, but also I say how the men are no longer looking like men.
Right.
They fit in their women's clothes. So listen, men, you need to start acting like men. And the testosterone is a huge component of that.
Right. So there's this company called Let's Get Checked, who's a great sponsor of the show. We're really appreciative of them for sponsoring the show. And it's just an important thing that you all should know about. Let's Get Checked provides a testosterone checking service from the comfort of your home.
Which is great.
So you can get your testosterone levels checked from the ease of your couch. You go online, you go to letsgetchecked.com, you buy their testosterone level kit, they send it to you, you prick your finger, easy, send it back to them in 2 to 5 days, you get your results on what your testosterone levels are online. You don't have to go to a fucking doctor's office. You don't have to deal with all the insurance and going to a specialist and this and
it's
that.
not salesmanship
It's easy.
stuff.
It takes a week. You get your results.
They have a nurse that they will go over your practitioner that will go over your results with you and tell
if your results are out of the ordinary,
right.
A physician will talk them over with you. Or if you want to just chat with a nurse about it, they have that service for you.
Right. If you're overweight, you're feeling sluggish, you're getting a belly, you feel depressed, your sex drive is at lower. These are signs that your testosterone is low, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. It happens to many men, especially as you get older, especially like Bronson was saying, the things in the food, plastics, so forth, what's going on with our society. So it's a great opportunity to get checked. It's not expensive at all. And go ahead.
And it'll help you get ahead of it if there's a problem. Not only do they just do testosterone level checks, but Let's Get Checked has a whole plethora of different medical tests that you can do. They have different STD tests. You can get tested for chlamydia, herpes, syphilis.
All private, by the way.
There's women's fertility tests, progesterone, vitamin tests, cortisol. So there's all these different tests on their website. It's a really great service, and you don't have to deal with the hassle of going to a doctor and waiting in the doctor's office. They send you to this specialist. They bill your insurance company for this.
Oh, you got the copay and your time out of the office, and you got to leave or go to your lunch break. The pain in the ass. This is Let's Get Checked. Go online.
Yeah, and their laboratories are CLA certified, which is the highest ranking levels of accreditation. They've performed over 2 million at-home tests, and all the information and your results are completely confidential. So if you head over, our listeners get 30% off their entire order, not just the testosterone checks, any of their at-home tests. You get 30% off with the code DADDYISSUES. So once again, that's DADDYISSUES. You'll get 30% off. Why not know everything you can about your body?
I agree.
And it's easy.
Proactive. It's the way to live your life.
So this one's from someone submitted anonymously. So I'll read it out loud. It says, okay, so here it is. I got married when I was 24 after being together for 4 years and 2.5-year engagement. Now I'm 26. Yes, I was young, but I felt comfortable with it, and we were in different positions than the average 24 and 27-year-olds. Neither of us went to college. We both had zero college debt. We had full-time jobs with decent pay rates and full benefits. I do everything around our house. I cook, clean, do laundry, errands.
So wait, we're talking about the husband.
The wife.
I'm joking, Bronson.
Okay. Everything. We hardly spend any time.
I got a good story to tell you. This guy, yeah.
We hardly spend any time together. Maybe we watch 2 shows a week together. Every couple of months, we have the same conversation about how I need help around the house and want to feel like a priority again. He starts to help and makes a little bit of an effort, but then it goes back to how it was within a few months. After being married for about 6 months, we decided to take the next step and start trying for a family. Quickly, we realized something wasn't right. I have infertility issues requiring surgeries, IVF, etc. Of course, that has put a stress on our marriage. We've been fighting a lot more, and when it gets bad, it's really bad. He's told me to leave him and thrown around divorce like it was nothing. Between not getting the help I need and the fights we've been having, I've started to think that maybe we have changed as a couple. Yes, I am in love with him, but maybe the love has changed. He's been talking about moving out of state, and I can't seem to fathom that idea. I've asked him to do marriage counseling, and I feel alone as it is, and I don't want, And I feel alone as it is, and I don't want to be away from all my family if I'm already upset. If I'm being honest, I'm really unhappy and have been for a while now. I hate feeling like I'm not a priority, and I always having to hound him to help out around the house. We both work full-time jobs. When I'm cleaning and doing everything, he's playing video games. Like I already said, we've had this conversation countless times. Part of me thinks it's time we went separate ways before kids get involved. We are both in our 20s still, and I feel like I'm too young to have a feeling of being stuck and unhappy. I would also feel ashamed and like a disappointment to our families if we did end it. I would really appreciate any advice. There's a lot there.
It's a heavy one.
A heavy one.
Yeah, well, first, we're not therapists, right? Let's be very clear.
No.
We're not...
or marriage counselors by any means.
Therapists, right. So...
I mean, to me, it sounds like the marriage is over.
Okay, so you got two good perspectives. First of all, sorry that you're going through what you're going through.
Yeah, sorry.
You got someone in their 20s. You got someone who's he's in their 50s and been married for 29 years. Go ahead, Ronnie.
My advice as someone who's how old are you? You're 26. We're the same age. My advice as someone who is your age, I'm not married. I don't even have someone who I'm thinking of being married to anytime soon. So, and I don't feel like I'm running out of time, right? Like I feel like there's still plenty of time. All my life is ahead of me, or I should say all our life is ahead of us. We're the same age. So it's like, if you were to start over, it's not like you're going to be 55 and you just got divorced. And now it's like, what more
kids?
Like, what more life do you have? It's like, if you got divorced next month, you could live your life like nothing ever even happened. I know plenty of people, personally a couple, and just know of plenty of people who were married in their 20s, early 30s, got a divorce, and go on to live a completely different life. And it's like,
when there's no kids involved, it's very easy.
Right. You even forget that you had a relationship to begin with. It's like, just because you're married doesn't mean, well, I don't know. There's something sanctimonious in that marriage as well, but also like you're young. It clearly seems to me that the marriage is over. If you're unhappy, you've tried to change things over and over for years, nothing's changed. Why stay unhappy? If you had children, if you were 50, if you were other circumstances, whatever, if I would say different story. But you don't need to depend on him, right? You have your own job, so you can make your own money. It's not like you're stuck because he pays all your bills and you're worried about that. You have no kids. I don't know. The fact that you even are thinking about it means that it's kind of the writing on the wall, in my opinion.
Okay, so those are all very valid points, Bronny. Couple things. So the first thing I want to say, if you don't worry about disappointment to your friends or your family, that's irrelevant.
Right.
Okay?
It's your life.
Right. It's your life. They're going to love you. You do what you need to do. You do what you think is best for you. Do not give a crap what anyone else thinks about it. I'm telling you, I get it. You could feel like at this point, you could feel like you failed, but that's okay. You're going to learn from whatever it is you do, whatever choices you make. So don't let that be the driving forces as to why you stay together. Okay. The second aspect, divorce, when you're married for many years and you have children, divorce is a very, very different situation than if you're getting divorced when you're young and you don't have children. Marriage is an important agreement and bonding and so forth, but my thoughts are, there's a part of me from when I read into what you wrote, the tone of it, that you know what the answer is.
Right.
Okay, that's my feeling. Now, if I'm wrong, then I'm going to have a different set of part of my advice. But I think from what I'm hearing and reading the tone and understanding the tone of your email, you know what you want to do. You just are afraid to do it. And I get it. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. So, but what I think you need to do is, if you have any loved ones, like your parents or any siblings or friends that you're very close with, you need to talk to them and they will support you. Now, if I'm wrong in my interpretation and you don't want to get divorced and your mind's not already made up, I'm not sure your marriage is going to get so much better with the two of you being able to do this on your own. I definitely would not move out of state. I don't think that's going to be good. That's going to be helpful for you and or him. It's running away from your problems. It's not going to change the problems. I think what you need to do then is, if you want to stay or try to make it work, you and he 110% must get into some sort of marriage counseling.
This is another thing too. She said she's tried and he's not interested.
Okay, well, let me finish that. Right. So
that's a red flag right there.
If he is not going, and you give him an ultimatum, and he is not going to go ahead and go for marriage counseling, and he throws around divorce and leaving this or whatever, then I think then you do need to leave. Because once you do get older, once you are with him longer, once you start getting more bills or entrenched in your community and society, and should you have children, that's a game changer. I cannot explain to the magnitude. It is a true game changer, and therefore it's a whole different circumstances. If you're about this point in your family, forget about when you have kids, forget when you're making too much money. Now you bought a house together. There's things that are so different that it will make life a lot harder, and you'll live an unhappy life.
It'll never get easier to end the marriage than it is today. Every day it will get harder to end the marriage.
But you just can't throw out there so easily end the marriage, Bronson.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I think.
I mean, it sounds like she wants to end the marriage.
It sounds like they both want, or they just don't have the balls to do it or hurt each other. There's no doubt if you did end the relationship, you will be happy. You will find somebody that will appreciate you and love you, and same for him. But if you are being realistic with, you're saying you feel unappreciated and he's not carrying his weight, and you're being objective about that, not just like where you think it's that way, but it's really that way, and he's just playing video games, it's no life. I'm sorry, it's no life, because this is sort of your honeymoon phase. You don't have children. This is when you should be having the best time of your life with your spouse, because even though, let's say Nell and I've been together 31 years, and we have a very nice relationship, there are ups and downs in it. The boys will, they lived through it. And we have a good marriage and a strong relationship, and we've had our, highs and lows. But I will tell you, before we had kids, it was the easiest, most beautiful, romantic. It's a cakewalk relationship when you don't have kids, because all the money you make goes to you guys. You could save it, you cannot save it, you can spend it yourselves. When you have kids, it's a game changer. So it will not get easier. And then if he's not helping now and being equal in your relationship, it's not going to be, he's not going to change and get better. So I can't tell you what to do, but I think you're reading what Bronson and I really are saying. And I think based on your email, you know the answer. I'm curious to know how it plays out, if you can keep us informed. But I would talk to your parents.
Yeah.
I would talk to your parents if you have a close relationship with them.
I think she does, because she said that she doesn't want to leave the state because she doesn't want to be away from her family.
Right. So I would talk to whoever you're close with in your family. If they love you, they're going to advise you what's best for you, not what's best for them. So I think you talk to them. I think you, rather than keeping this bottled up inside, you need to let it out. And if it's not going to change, then let me tell you, life's too fucking short. Don't live a sad, defeated life. Live an amazing, fulfilled life.
Yeah. Look, just to put the button on this, I'm of the mindset that people know what they need to do in their gut, like they'll listen to your gut.
But it's scary. It's scary.
Well, yeah. So two things. One, I'm of that mindset that if you really listen to yourself, you know what the answer is. Even if you're ignoring it, if you're pushing it down, deep down, you know what the answer is. And maybe that's stay or go. I'm not saying the answer is leave. I'm saying you know what the answer is.
Even if you know what the answer is to go,
it's still hard.
But you might say, I'm going to stick it out because I made a choice to get married.
But then that's not. I think you should live by your intuition. But then the second thing is also like, this might be, they say when people sometimes people have
comfortable.
Like a cry for help, right? Like people do things like they say sometimes when like people are cheating, they purposely want to get caught subconsciously because then it'll end the thing.
It's like a correction. Or
so I'm thinking if she's writing this out and we're saying this publicly to the world, to thousands of people, that might subconsciously be her way of trying to make it real into the world and be like, it's over. Or maybe she even wants her husband to hear this or something,
Could be, right. Or
just a thought.
You got to ask yourself, is your relationship worth fighting for? Do you love him so much? And does he love you that you guys don't really, when you think about it, you don't want to be without each other? And is it worth fighting for? That's another thing you got to think about. There's a lot involved. I think that you both should get into marriage counseling. If he doesn't want to do it, you should talk to your parents either way. And I think you should go on your own separate counseling. You don't have to get divorced tomorrow. Go on your own separate counseling for a good 3 to 6 months. They'll help you figure what you want out of life for you. and see what works, and then it'll make you a smarter, more educated, more mature woman to make a proper decision that someone can help you. So you're not doing it alone. That's my advice.
Yeah. And let us know if you
want to
talk or anything.
Yeah, if you want to talk, you can always reach out to Bronny and we can do a Zoom.
Yeah. Okay, so before we move on to the last thing I want to talk about, which is like a fun one, it'll be like fun to just talk about. I wanted to shout out a friend of mine works for this tequila company. It's called El Bandito Yankee. Friend of mine from growing up, actually family friends of ours.
It's very cool stuff.
And so she sent us this awesome care package and this tequila, and it's really fucking good. I was drinking it last night, and I just wanted to shout them out on the show because it's like a small American business. Who's a friend of mine.
We love promoting small local businesses,
and it's good shit. So if you guys like tequila, check it out. El Bandito Yankee. Go give him a follow on Instagram.
It's very cool. I like it. Tequila, right? 100% agave.
And it's not the whole trend of tequila now is like every celebrity's doing it, and fuck that. The celebrities don't need it. Like small American businesses are the ones that need it, not The Rock or George Clooney. They don't need more of our money. So if you're buying tequila, don't buy Kendall Jenner's tequila. Buy someone who I can vouch for is tequila. So yeah, that's that.
El Bandito Yankee.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's very cool the way they did it.
So you know a bit about Hasbulla, right? If I say that name.
Who?
Hasbulla?
No, I don't know.
Oh, so you don't know
that. I don't know what it even is.
Oh, perfect. That's even
don't
better.
know how to spell it.
Hasbulla.
Okay, well, you're a fancy guy.
Hasbulla is from Dagestan, which like you call that bad Russia. That's the part of Russia where like all the fighters come from. Khabib, all the other fighters. I don't know. Khabib's
That's where that little.
That's Hasbulla. He's the little kid.
Oh yeah.
So you know Hasbulla. So I just wanted to.
It's a weird thing.
I just wanted to talk about Hasbulla.
Isn't that a weird thing? How it's become this phenomenon? It's just bizarre.
Right. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
He's like not even a kid.
He's 19.
Right, but he's a kid body.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about. So over the past year,
what does he have, a disease?
Yeah. So he came from nothing.
It's fucking weird.
But no one even knows what his disease is because there's no news from him. So for those who don't know, I'm sure you've seen the pictures or whatever. About a year ago, these pictures and videos of this kid were being put online. He was driving. He was fighting people. He was drinking, smoking, and everyone's like, "What is this kid? Why is this kid doing all this?" And it went viral. And it turns out he's not a kid at all. He's actually a man who looks like a kid. And if you're watching the video or the YouTube, there'll be pictures of him.
It's the weirdest thing. He truly looks like a kid.
Yeah, this is a picture of him with Khabib.
And who are these guys to him?
So Khabib is the best UFC fighter of all time. That's undisputed. He's the best. I mean, like Rogan will call him the best. Dana White. He's undefeated. He retired last year, undefeated, and he'll never fight again. He retired. Actually, his dad on his deathbed said, "I want you to stop fighting," and he retired the next day.
Selfish of
his
dad.
He was the best fighter in the world. But now he has a legacy of being the best fighter in the world. Conor McGregor was one of the best fighters in the world, and he kept going and going and going, and now his legacy kind of sucks. He's not as powerful of an icon as he used to be 3 years ago. Khabib will now always remain the best fighter. But this guy Hasbulla came out of nowhere from Dagestan, which is this region in Russia that's just like wild. It's just like, if you think Russia's already crazy, Dagestan is like the Florida of Russia. So it's like the crazy of the crazy. It's just constant. Everyone's fighting and brutal.
I don't get it.
And so this kid came out of there, and he first got famous for, we'll go through the whole thing. He first got famous famous in America at least, for this press conference that he held where he like was fighting another little person. And they're not midgets. They're not.
No, they look like
they have like
babies.
Dwarfism or something.
No, they look like babies.
It says on this article, no one really knows. It says, although it has not been officially confirmed, it is believed Hasbulla has a form of dwarfism. The genetic disorder gives him childlike characteristics, such as stunted growth and a higher pitched voice. Dwarfism affects growth, but no one really knows. So it says Hasbulla has gained a huge Instagram following. In 2021 alone, he gained 2 million followers.
Wow.
So this is where he first got famous. We'll just go through a little bit of the history.
All from social media.
He had this beef with this other little person called Abdu Rozik, who's another adult but looks like a 7-year-old boy. And this guy's a professional. Abdu is 18 years old. He's a professional singer in Tajikistan. And he's like he's like one of their famous. Here's one of his songs.
Oh my God.
So that's Abdu Rozik.
Oh my God, that's fucking. He's got a video. Was he Indian or something?
No, Tajik. He's from Tajikistan.
What's that?
It's like a Kazakhstan or a.
It's a Stan. I don't even know what the fuck.
No, but like Afghanistan, Tajikistan.
You gotta play that more. I gotta watch this guy. I'm sorry. I need a minute.
So the
play
thing
this.
is, like,
play this video.
I will. But so the reason why, for those who are just listening, like the reason why these guys are so popular now is because they're funny.
They're little.
They're so little, and there's something about them being little, but they're also an adult makes them so funny.
Gotta watch this video.
I don't know how much more I can play.
Right.
So this guy Abdu Rozik.
Wow.
This guy Abdu and Hasbulla had beef. No one really knows where it came from, and so they wanted to fight each other. And so they were both invited.
Do you have the fight? I'd love to watch.
Well, no. So the fight hasn't happened yet, but two things that I have. So they held a press conference that Khabib. They held a press conference in Dagestan, in Russia. It was like not even supposed to make it to America. It was just for that area, and it just got viral. And Khabib was like hosting it for them. And so you just got to watch this video. So I'll read the subtitles. We are glad to have you here. Tell us how old you are, where you are from, and how much you weigh. That's Khabib talking. This is Abdu. I'm 17 years old from Tajikistan. I weigh 38 pounds and I'm 1 meter high. That's Abdu. And what about you, Hasbulla? How old are you and how much do you weigh? I'm 18 years old. I weigh 1 kilo less than Abdu and I'm 1 meter high as well. He says I'm 1 kilo.
Look at them. How can they be 18 years old?
How cute are they? Okay, so this was like in their press conference, and then they got heated in their press conference, and so they both jumped out of their chairs and started fighting. Khabib saying enough. Wait. Everything will happen in the cage. Abdu, chill. Hasbulla says, "Come on, say it again." Says, "Come on, say it again." Abdu says, "Jab me, little shit." And look, Khabib is laughing. He tried to. Wait, so it's these little men who are fighting, and Khabib is on his knees, holding them, laughing, trying to break their fight up. And
you know it's gonna go viral when this goes in the cage.
Well, when the fight actually
millions
happens.
and millions and millions we made. I'm going to watch it.
So Hasbulla went to kick Abdu, and he fell. And Abdu says, "You almost smacked your own head trying to kick me."
Look. He's laughing.
How funny.
His chair's even low.
Yeah, so that's that's where they got famous
Khabib's
from.
Chair is so low. Look.
That's where they got famous from. That was like the first thing that went viral, and now Hasbulla is a huge celebrity. And I'm talking about this now for a reason, because Hasbulla is back in the news, which we'll get to in a couple minutes. Like this week, Hasbulla is back in the news. So he became huge. 2 million followers on Instagram. He was I'm sure everyone listening to this, if you don't know him by name, you know the face, because he's everywhere. So here's just some other funny. He got big just because he's funny. He does funny things.
He's tiny,
but also like he does funny things. Like he just posts videos online that are really funny. Hold on. Here's a video of him. They strapped him to balloons and he started floating away.
Oh my God. They're dying, these guys. He's going to cry?
How funny. They did this just for fun.
Look at him. Now, what's the UFC fighter's name?
Khabib.
So he's his friend?
Yeah. So
It's almost like
well, they're both from Dagestan.
All right. Do they have any parents? Does this kid have any parents?
Yeah, he has a family actually. Like I can show you a picture of his brother and stuff too, and his sister. But he got like a lot of UFC fighters come from Dagestan. That they're like big fighting culture over there. And so since Hasbulla is from Dagestan and Hasbulla like trains fighting too. Here's a video of him. Here's a video of him training. He's punching a mini bag.
Mini, that's an understatement. Look. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. That's a mockery.
How cute. Oh yeah, get him.
Look at that. That elbow wouldn't hurt anybody.
So
You gotta be kidding me.
So Hasbulla likes fighting, and so since he's also from Dagestan and all these big fighters from Dagestan, he's kind of gone in with the big fighters, and he's buddies with all of them. And so people call him Mini Khabib, and he's been invited to like as the guest of honor at the UFC fights. Like he's in the fighting world now.
Unfucking believable. No, it's unfucking believable.
Here are
this
some
is
other
the retarded world.
Here's some other just funny videos of him that I just found online. So this video, he's just driving in a car and the driver speeds up purposefully and Hasbulla falls back. It's just funny. I don't know. You got to watch the video. And his little laugh.
Hey, Kill, he's 18.
He was 18 when he got famous. Now he's 19. Here's a funny video of him just going up to a person and just fucking sucker punching them. Hold on. He walks over to a guy, takes the phone out of his hand, punches him in the face, and then just look at him run. Look how cute he is.
Oh my God, this is retarded.
And then another weird thing too is
the monkey
he has a pet monkey, and the pet monkey died like 3 months ago. Sad, but he has a pet monkey, and there's all these videos of him like cuddling up the monkey, and there's videos of him like fighting the monkey too. He'll do fights with the monkey because the monkey's the same size as him. This is an ad.
It's very weird. It's so weird, isn't it? Is that this UFC guy?
Yeah, I think
He's
that's
with him
Khabib.
all the time.
Yeah, it's a monkey attacking him. I just love that like this exists in our world. That there's a little guy that fights monkeys and hangs out with some of the most famous people in the world.
These guys, I wonder if they're really his friend. You think?
They are. They are. Yeah. Khabib, I think Khabib takes a lot of care of him. Like he gives him money and so the reason why did I lose that article?
What's that?
The reason why when is the Hasbulla versus Abdu Razak fight? Hasbulla dubbed as many as the face of the fight game and Abdu. Despite looking poised to become one of the biggest fights of the year, Hasbulla and Abdu look to have buried the hatchet. No, raising serious question marks as to whether or not their fight will be going ahead. The recent scuffle at UFC 267 has shown the pair clearly are not friends after all. Here's Rafael Fizij. Do you know who that is? UFC fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Rafael Fizij. Rafael, what a fantastic
This is UFC
fight.
265.
Hasbulla, you think I will work what I do all my life in the UFC? If you want a money fight, you fight with me, bro.
Oh my God.
See, like Hasbulla's become a huge thing. Huge
Oh
thing.
my God. He is so tiny.
So no one knows when the fight's going to happen. Here's a picture of Hasbulla and his brother. That's Hasbulla's brother. Look how cute he is.
It's so weird that he's a teenager.
So
nice
why
car
I'm
there,
saying
right?
that this is in the news now is because Hasbulla has been banned from Twitter, from Instagram. His Instagram account was banned.
That's
He had
bad for him.
2 million followers, and as of 3 days ago,
Why?
he was removed from
Why?
Instagram. Apparently, let me get up the article. This is from Russia Today. Hasbulla blocked on Instagram after making death threats to woman. This is from 5 days ago. Dagestani social media phenomenon Hasbulla Magomedov is barred from Instagram after he was accused of issuing a threatening message to a young woman. Hasbulla is one of the biggest breakout celebrities of the year. The 18-year-old suffers a rare growth disorder. Look how cute he is. I mean, come on. Here. This is what he said. He posted a clip threatening an unknown woman about his sister. He said, "I will not leave this girl alive until she apologizes to the whole of Instagram because she filmed a video of my sister and posted it for the entire Instagram." However, the Dagestani star said later, gave his version of events. He said, "Nobody blocked me. I blocked my account myself for a couple of days." Hasbulla's main account has 1.5 million followers, claims he's been bombarded with complaints by friends. So is he back up? Let's see. This is his Instagram page. He's back up. Good for him. Okay. He's back up. Glad to see it. What's going on in his story today?
He's following 2 people.
Yeah, who does he follow? Oh, it won't let me see without logging in. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up Hasbulla because look how fucking funny he is. Look at that picture. It's a picture of him in ski gear, just in an elevator with a massive suitcase.
It's weird, but he's not a baby.
No, that's what makes it funny.
It's crazy.
Look at this picture. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up Hasbulla to share the news on the podcast because we've never talked about him before.
It's weird. People weird lies. That's the bad Russia, right? I always refer to as bad Russia.
I mean, it's in Russia.
But it's the bad Russia.
It's like the crazy part of Russia. It's like where all the shit goes down. Like it's like law. I mean, I don't know. If we have any listeners who are from Dagestan or know more information, let us know. It'd be a fun place to go, low-key. Like, it's wild.
Would it be
out there,
safe?
apparently. Yeah. I mean, there's cities and shit. Let's see if we can find any pictures. Dagestan. Republic of Russia, situated on the Caspian Sea. I mean, this is what it looks like. It's like Eastern European.
Jesus.
It's like as Eastern European as you can get. And it's just wild. And an interesting thing too about Dagestan is like they're all Islamic, where the rest of Russia is not. The rest of Russia is really Christian, but in Dagestan they're really Islamic for some reason.
It looks like a beaten up fucking place.
Yeah, I think it is.
Cold probably too, right?
I don't think it gets cold there. That cold. But also that's why like hard places make hard people. That's why they have some of the best fighters in the world.
Mm.
You don't see some of the best fighters in the world coming out of Canada, you know? All right,
brother, you got to go trim your nose hairs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we continue on with this podcast. Have a good time tonight, whatever you're doing.
Bryce going to the Heat game. I'll probably meet up with him after.
The one the tickets Dan got him? Yeah. Who's he taking?
Megan.
Nice.
Me being a really nice brother, he texts me. He goes, so we have the Heat tickets for Saturday. I told Megan I'd hang out with her, so you can take the tickets if you want. He's like, I'd like to take the game, but you can take the tickets if you want, and I'll just take her out to dinner. I was like, you know what? You have the tickets. Have fun.
You're like a nice dad.
Well, I don't need to go to a fucking Heat game.
All right, brother. Everybody, hopefully we'll see you at the Meetup at the Wharf on Saturday 18th from 9 o'clock to whenever. Ronnie, I love you. You have a good rest of the weekend. Thanks for coming up, and we'll speak to you guys soon. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.